hello and welcome. I'm just gonna burn some Palo Santo, do a nice little energy upgrade. Smells nice. If you have something at home or wherever you are right now that you want to, participate in clearing energy with, or just have a sip of water, take a nice deep breath, whatever it may be, go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and get started with this twin flame reading. So yeah, welcome guys. Tomorrow, like as in the 10th, Jupiter is moving into Aries, and that's kind of a big deal because it's been in Pisces for a while. So this isn't all about astrology, but I did want to bring that up because it does feel very twin flame related to me with the Jupiter and Pisces energy that was really like building on romance and like emotional romance and being able to give that to yourself spiritually on a deeper level. And then moving into this Aries energy, I feel like is going to be more activating where you have been doing the spiritual work, but also going to like ask of you a different kind of energy that's more like Mars in nature, if you happen to know what I mean. More fiery, more direct, more outward, more like, if you will, more masculine, even though the divine feminine will also experience this in some way, like of this more like action oriented energy, because obviously like divine feminines are like Aries too and stuff, right? So yeah, welcome everyone. So happy that you're here and you're joining for this reading today. We have an eclipse coming up as well, and this lunar eclipse is going to bookmark the end of this eclipse season, and it is showing you a glimpse into the next 6 months of your life in a way. So you can also look up where this is playing out in your chart, like where the south and north node are, for instance, in your astrology chart, where Scorpio and where Taurus are. This lunar eclipse is in Scorpio. Well, we're in Taurus season, and that's where the north node is. We have the south node, so it's really going to take you deep and allow you to release some things that no longer serve you, I bet, emotionally. And it does tie in then to that Jupiter energy I was just talking about as well, and allow you to move forward. Even though certain things might seem a little scary right now or precarious in one way or another, hopefully they don't, but if anything happens to in your life, just know that you do have the power to overcome this. And it's definitely not by trying to like cling on to attachment and control though, but also to maybe go deeper with grounding into your foundation and looking at what now you feel motivated, what you can move towards, what you can take care of, but also allowing God, allowing the divine to guide you and not feeling like it's all on your shoulders alone. Because remember, we didn't create ourselves, we didn't create our twin flames, and so also your twin flame is not your source either. So if you have upsets about that and not feeling fully supported, you can clear them. If you want to check out my link, thetwinflamepsychic.com, see if you're ready to dive into deeper spiritual work, and if you really want to be with your twin flame, right? Or if you're just kind of unsure, dabbling in the idea, where you're at with it. And some people get deterred from needing to invest in their twin flame journey. I'm not really sure why that is exactly, because once I was ready for it and I knew, like, I didn't really personally have that, like, issue, even though I couldn't do it right away, I didn't feel like I'm not gonna invest in this, because I understood that, like, my healing and, like, the love that I felt in my heart were one thing, because I guess, like, I'd done a different like healing modalities, and not that you necessarily have to have done this for yourself at all, because we all have our own things we're focused on. You could be a lawyer, you could be a cook, you could be whatever. But I was into a lot of healing and spirituality and also alternative medicine and stuff like that. And so, you know, when I got really clear on what was going on for me and how other people were kind of experiencing this and writing about it on the internet, and then I found my spiritual teachers and gurus, Jeff and Shalia, on the subject of twin flames and like showing you how to clear the inner blocks, and also how that was not only about your twin flame, but also like about your own foundation within of peace. And so like all of the other stuff you're experiencing in your life that feels not good also gets cleared away, as your twin flame might be mirroring that to you by being very far away from you in some way, either energetically or physically or both, or some kind of dissonance, or maybe you don't know who it is, but whatever. So yeah, you know, like once everything clicked for me, I was fine with investing in it, because I knew that like there was, like, I understood how that works. You know, it's like you want to heal, well then you move forward with the healing, and you don't try to like just try, you know, freebie your way into like going really deep into something and understanding like the spiritual wisdom, but also like if something doesn't end with just the spiritual wisdom that's there, then you know, there's also like a whole, it's alive, and that's something that you continue in to clear your consciousness. So you just have to decide if that's what you actually want to do, because there is a way forward. And yes, it's not exactly, it's not free, but like it does lead you to your freedom, versus like the price that you pay for not investing in yourself is probably higher, you know, and like not feeling very good to try to like go against the tide for yourself. So, you know, there is a way forward for you. There is a way, and you don't have to do it alone. And so yeah, it's just important to keep that not in mind, just in mind, but like maybe make a goal for yourself. If not today, like you can now, if you, once you know, you can't really unknow the twin flame journey. You can put it off. You can say, I don't have the resources right now to deal with this, like the inner energetic resources, the financial resources, the whatever resources. But like it's not really truly going to go away. You can, you know, try to pretend, but it won't go away, and that's not a bad thing. Like that's not that shouldn't be scary or something. It should actually hopefully be freeing that there is a way forward, you know. So yeah, I just hope like that helps you with possibly making a decision if you're ready to take that leap of faith, take that journey. But it's also not like just blind faith. It's like based on something that is guiding you step by step, and also how, you know, how to be with God, how to be with spirit. And that feels really good. It feels like a very high state of being, because it's your ascension, and it's teaching you how to like awaken to that. Some people call this maybe like a Kundalini awakening and all of that. But it's teaching you how to do this sustainably and not like get high off of your twin flame or get high off of something else and then crash. You know, I'm not just talking about drugs, but it could be that. So there's just a way for you to do this sustainably that actually works and takes you to those places where you need to clear your blocks. Get the selenite crystal, you know, clear the energy again. Okay, cool. Here we go. Well, let's pull some cards. So I think it's time to transition with that being said. So yeah, I'm going to start us off with Psychic Tarot for the heart. Sadness, isolation, number 3. So this is like you're coming out of this sadness and isolation, but in order to do it, you really have to let like your old self go, right? And this is about that eclipse energy once again, and that like death and rebirth kind of thing. And that part of you, like, that maybe has felt lonely or something, as you love that part of you completely, then you are actually like integrating that into the center of your heart and your being. And instead of loneliness there, you find like joy in solitude with the divine, like you find your relationship with God. And that, look how then you become this happy person. So this is number 1, love abounds. And we have kind of this very psychic looking eye as well. To me, this is saying like, trust your intuition, right? Trust your intuition about love. But it's also like being open. So trusting your intuition doesn't mean being like set on, what you feel right now needs to be the absolute ultimate truth. Means being open to the deeper truth, but also like in order to do that, oftentimes you do need to embrace like how you truly feel right now and be able to trust yourself on some level enough to at least move forward, right? So it's important. And if you have a lot of doubt about your twin flame journey, then you can start to replace your doubt with questioning it and skepticism so that you can become, someone who is seeking that self-realization rather than doubting it. Because your doubt is really just, it's a low vibe. It's not really helping you to doubt yourself or to think you're crazy because you feel your twin flame or whatever. That's not helpful. Sorry, I guess I'm kind of out of the camera now that I'm like paying more attention. But I guess I was so focused on wanting the flowers in the camera that I forgot about myself, which is pretty silly. So, anyways. All right, let's pull another one. Cool, new vitality. I haven't pulled this card in a little while from this deck, so that really kind of gives me some fresh, like this card feels very highlighted to me. And since we are talking about the eclipse energy, and it is upcoming, and something I'm always interested, in the astrological events, like it does feel very timely, this card. And so if you're kind of like, where's my energy gonna come from for what I need to like move forward with my life right now, if you have some feelings about that, just understand that it is coming. And energy comes in different ways. Sometimes it's the financial energy that you need, sometimes it's the creative energy, the health within your body to be able to process everything. But ultimately, it's the energy that you receive from source. So your energy doesn't just come from you, it comes from the higher power. And so, as you're releasing things that no longer serve you in your life, then you have space for this new vitality. And you can see how it's rainbow colored too. It's like a prism. It's about balancing your chakras too as well. Spread your wings, yo. Okay, that's number 2. It's a very, I like the colors in this card a lot. It's really, what's the word? Like opalescent. Yeah. I like her little shawl thing too. I like the way that that's depicted in the picture. It's pretty nicely drawn. Spread your wings. It's time to do that, and it goes along nicely with the last card, the new vitality. What does it say? Yeah, new vitality. I thought it said renewed for a second, but it's about then having the energy to spread your wings, because if you don't really have the energy to hardly do that, it's pretty hard to have the anything else, you know, the confidence or whatever else, because you feel, well, I don't really have this energy right now, or I have a block to it or something like that. But once that energy is flowing, it's a lot easier. So yeah, just safe to accept the feeling of that, even whether or not you know how at this moment. Maybe you do. Maybe you kind of do, you know what's coming. Maybe you don't. And we always kind of do and don't, because, you know, if we knew everything, that, like, what would be the point of the journey? And also at the same time, you don't know nothing, you know. Yes, like being humble, and in a way, sure, that's true, but you have your whole being, which is very intelligent, you know, you're created very intelligently. So it's nice to balance that humility, that humbleness, with also, you know, accepting your divinity. Base chakra, nice. So we went from number 2 to number 1 here. Yeah, this is about going back to the basics, guys, really. Like, wherever you are in your life with various things, whether it's your health, your wealth, really health and wealth, especially with this card, because this is about material gain, I want to say. So this is about, like, where you're out of balance with your root chakra, and, like, paying attention to how that's been manifesting in your life, whether it's just a little something that feels off, or, like, pretty obvious thing, or whatever it is. It's safe to go deeper and refine that with wherever you're at, kind of going back to the basic needs in a way. But that's really going to help you with your creative flow at this time, is going back to some of these basics, and that's going to help you with your twin flame journey as well, because when you're in a nice flow in your life, and you're more attractive, you're more magnetic, you're living your purpose, and then you can more easily attract your twin flame, because that's your whole self. So your twin flame recognizes the you that's in that flow, because that's how you're designed to be. So you're just paying attention to the places that are dragging you down. I think sometimes you may, like, as I have done before, mistake being grounded with kind of a heavy feeling or something, because there is that sense to grounding that does sometimes feel like, you know, downward gravitational energy. But, like, if that is, like, lingering in a way or something, sometimes that could be, like, let's say it's dead roots or something that's, like, actually keeping your roots from going where they desire to go, which is, you know, deeper, right, into what's real, into the divine. And so if something's blocking you, this is time to even release in those very deep places, however you're called to do. And I kind of want to feel into this for a minute to, like, get a better idea of what that means, and maybe really the answer is feeling into it, but also, like, pulling another card about what that means. Yeah, this is really good, because you could actually see roots in this card. And this is embrace. So it's about embracing the love and not being afraid to embrace the love in your root chakra, like even below your energy body, like where you are right now in your physical reality. Even if there's things you don't like about it, not being afraid to love anyway, like where you're being called to love with your energy, with your roots. And that's going to help to alleviate any tension you're feeling with being able to root down, and just also allow the negative attachments to dissipate, because they don't really stand in your way when you're really truly aligned with love and able to be in your lower chakras from that place. And I think it's interesting too that even though you might be aligned with love in 1 minute or for 1 year or however long, that alignment can turn into a misalignment if you don't continue your spiritual work, because you're evolving, you're ascending and stuff. So it's important to not stagnate, because then that stagnation can actually start to drift you away from your desires, and from your twin flame journey. Take the lead. I like this gesture. It's really nice. It kind of goes very well with the number 2 card. And to me, this feels more, also because it's a woman here, but it feels more feminine, this number 2 card, and this feels more masculine in energy. To me, now I'm getting too that this feels a little more like Jupiter in Pisces, which we're just coming out of that cycle of Jupiter being in Pisces, spreading your wings, all that spiritual energy, but like more emotional, more of that like kind of gentle side of it. And then going into Aries, well, this is a lot more of that Aries energy, but also spiritual energy, and unifying that energy both with your twin flame and with the divine in your heart, and figuring out where you can take the lead in your life of your own healing. And just not being afraid to do that, and not being afraid to embrace the spiritual energy within you and to cultivate it, and how powerful that can be, whether or not it's manifesting right away. Because, we all have our different lessons to learn. And sometimes that can show up like in your birth chart and stuff, but that doesn't mean that like just because you have no planets in Taurus or something that you're going to have a hard time financially, for instance. But like it just means that your energy might naturally flow certain ways, and it's important to both leverage that natural flow, but also to get that flow going into places where you maybe do have blocks or something, especially if you have blocks in, again, your base reality of meeting your basic needs and going deeper with your basic needs at this time, to really support you in living a higher life for yourself and harmonizing with your twin flame too. So this next card is moving on. Moving on. Yeah, it's just about not being afraid and not being attached. And I see that it's 2:02 here, 2:02 a.m. So I think it's about like moving on from the past, even with your twin flame too, or moving on from not seeing your twin flame as divine and just choosing to embrace the truth, but the truth is going to take you to moving on. It's not going to take you to just like sticking around where you are right now. So you have to be okay with that. And this is solar plexus chakra. So this is also a little bit of lower chakra energy, but more central chakra going into that energy. And so it's giving you the power to move on, it sounds like to me, since that was the last card. And then it also plays off of taking the lead with this Aries energy. So you're actually being directed, like, with the story that these cards are telling, that Spirit's really sending through these cards, is, okay, so you're taking the lead to move on in your life. You're not just going to stay where you are, even though it might be okay right here where this nice ocean is and stuff. There's something that you're being like magnetized to move towards, and it might be partly through contrast too. Like you only want to get your feet so wet if you have your clothes on, probably, kind of thing, right? Like there's something that's moving you in a specific direction, and you're being given the power. You're healing blocks to that central power within you, and to receiving that power too from the divine. So let's pull one more card from here. Let's see what we have. Win or lose. So yeah, it's not about whether you win or lose. It's about how you play the game. Well, not in this case. In this case, it actually is about making a choice or just getting clear on the choice that you are making, and that is important, and that is leading you somewhere, and is the choice that you're making right now where you desire to go, like the inner choice, the overarching choice, and then your other choices can help you align to that, hopefully winning what you want. You know, hopefully you're not making choices to actively like be like, oh, I'm a loser and I suck and I'm so horrible that I deserve the worst in life. If that's where you are, it's all right, but I don't recommend that. I recommend making a new choice to win, you know? And if there's anything within you that's telling you that it's time to really release that negativity, and if there's anyone in your life that's reflecting that kind of to you, that voice, probably time for a boundary there as well, right? So yeah, just time to maybe it's time to test to see if you can pull the sword out from the stone, you know, because we all have our own personal sword that only we can pull out, that, you know, where our power is, if you want to take the story there, and you probably know what I'm talking about. Let's do another one. Believe and succeed, guys. Getting a lot of the purple suit. This is number 6. This is about unifying. So it's about unifying your beliefs, your desires, with something you're moving towards, and meeting success where it is in your reality, like choosing to meet it, choosing to win and move towards it is actually taking you. So that believing, that faith that you're cultivating, whatever you're cultivating about that, the good vibes, they really are leading you to your success, but you also need to, you know, like get in the boat and like go with it, not just like stay where you're at. So it's also, again, speaking to that moving forward energy. And to me, what this is saying too is because of all the energy that has been in Pisces, and with Jupiter too, Pisces is a water sign. And it's like you've cleared the water enough to feel safe moving on your emotions, on like, you know, surfing basically, or boating, I guess, or canoeing or whatever. But you're really able to like move forward with the emotional healing that you've done. And so now you don't need to necessarily be swimming in that water anymore. You can actually like utilize that healing now to help drive some actual action of moving towards something. So I'm going to pull a couple cards from this Sacred Geometry of Relationships Oracle. Okay. So yeah, we have freedom. Freedom, number 21. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibilities and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. Yeah, so you're being given a little more freedom somehow, it sounds like. And freedom in your relationships as well. So just pay attention to that. See if you're willing to accept the gift of freedom. And make sure that if you do accept it, that you're utilizing that freedom appropriately and not misusing the freedom that you're being given. So this, you know, like you want to make sure that you're really like cultivating love in that that freer space. That space that you've cleared in your consciousness, and perhaps it's being reflected to you in your like physical reality as well in your life. And then we have surrender. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. Love and life. So yeah, surrender, it's a pretty straightforward card, and it definitely feels very like eclipse energy oriented to me, with just releasing, yeah, what no longer serves you, and surrendering things that you're like, I don't know how to deal with this. Sometimes you need to really let God into those places. It doesn't mean you do nothing, but it means you might be trying to control too much, and you do need to yeah, like you want to on some level let God in, and if you're experiencing that contrast, maybe it's because you did call it in because you actually desire that, so you're getting clearer there, so you can learn how to do that and how to have a relationship with your creator, which is a really beautiful thing. Okay, I want to do one more card, and this does feel like a nice card to end on, you guys. And I really love the colors of this. I don't know if I noticed before all the colors here, but this is intimacy. The energy of intimacy supports us trusting that we are safe to allow closeness. So, intimacy can mean a lot of different things. Of course, you might think of romance and your twin flame and stuff like that, but it can also mean more like platonic intimacy, if you will, as well. But in either case, or just all of it being like just feeling close with God ultimately, and how is God guiding you to do that? And it's just a reminder, I think, too, is a good time for a reminder that intimacy in that kind of like romantic way, and especially that sexual and sensual way, is really meant to just be with your twin flame. It's not really meant for other people. Of course, a lot of people are going to explore intimacy with other people, right? Like even in romantic relationships and stuff, but they will always ultimately lead you back to your twin flame, even if not in this lifetime. But if you're actively doing the healing work, then you can do that in this lifetime for sure. And pretty quickly, all things considered. So yeah, real intimacy is worth it, and just whatever you've been through with all of that, just know that it is leading you in the right direction if you allow that to be the truth. And so yeah, it's safe to allow that closeness with your twin flame, and to remember who they are as their divine self. So that's going to be it for right now. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and that I catch you again soon. Go to thetwinflamepsychic.com, and you can learn more about me. You can check out the resources about how to heal your twin flame union, and you can also check out other resources as well, or you can work with me. You'll see it all there, so it's a good bookmark for you. And yeah, I hope you have a great start to your week, and I will see you soon. I love you guys. Peace.